Hi, hello, welcome to Random, where we random thing randomly. This is not me buat comeback. No, I'm not doing comeback yet. We are still looking for a host. Kepada korang yang tengok, please, kalau jumpa someone yang good co-host with Haikal, suggest kat bawah ataupun bagi link ataupun share video ni untuk kata, hey, become a co-host with Haikal. This is a few series yang kita akan buat regarding of how to make science more approachable to public. That's a big idea. With that, kita tak boleh nak borak seorang. We need someone to talk with, and we have my friend here. Yes, we have Dr. Bu or Hin Bu. Should I call you Dr. Bu or Hin Bu?
Untuk senangkan our komunikasi dalam Discord ni, panggil Bu je cukup. Sebab kalau panggil doktor-doktor tu, saya bukannya doktor medical pun. Nak tahu orang tu susah kadang-kadang.
Yeah, okay. Bu is my friend, and Bu is not the first time here. He was previously dalam Random when we talk about our previous experience together masa buat choral ladida and stuff. Go check out that episode. Yeah, Bu, again, for those yang tak kenal Bu, please introduce yourself. Who are you, Bu?
So technically saya adalah seorang pensyarah lah sekarang. Saya pensyarah kanan atau fellow penyelidik di Institut Perubahan Iklim di UKM. Saya punya penyelidikan, most of my research actually revolves around terumbu karang, coral reefs, dan macam mana dia terumbu karang ni, ekosistem ini boleh ditukar atau dipengaruhi oleh perubahan iklim or climate change lah, which means I'm looking into how coral reef is driven or influenced by climate change. And my background actually adalah dalam tengok macam mana, masa saya buat PhD tu adalah tengok dari macam mana terumbu karang itu berubah dia punya karakter atau dia punya watak dia, macam mana dia adapt kepada different environment, dari tempat yang panas, right, until to the place where it's cold or it's very acid, like for example next to a volcano island.
See, and you did your PhD, your PhD dekat Japan, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, I did my PhD dekat di Okinawa, Japan. Okinawa tu, it's a very weird prefecture, I would say. Sebab dia memang jauh daripada orang cakap Honto, which means the main island of Japan. It's around 200 kilometers south daripada Kyushu. And then actually Okinawa dia adalah satu prefecture. Prefecture tu macam negeri lah. It's like the state di Malaysia. And then Okinawa prefecture ni dia memang dekat dengan Taiwan dah. So they have a very mixed culture. And so
kalau you said 100 kilometer from
hundreds.
What?
That means berapa ratus kilometer. I cannot
dari
give you
mana?
a ballpark punya. Dari Kyushu. That means prefecture, salah satu prefecture yang paling selatan di main island Japan.
Okay, kalau daripada Tokyo ke Okinawa, nak bayangkan Kuala Lumpur ke mana? Kuala Lumpur ke Perlis ke? Kuala Lumpur ke Johor ke? Kuala Lumpur ke...
Kalau we are talking begitu kan, dia macam KLIA ke maybe Kota Kinabalu, 2 jam. 2 jam lebih, 2 jam setengah punya flight. So kalau you nak ambil boat dari Kyushu ke Okinawa, dia ambil 8 hingga 12 jam. Yeah, it depends on the sea condition.
Ada ke boat sampai 8 jam?
Ada there's a somewhat macam a cruise boat yang di mana we call it the sleeper boat lah. You akan tidur di atas boat tu overnight. And then
itu ferry
bangun je. Dia memang ferry lah. Ferry, we call it a ferry. Atau for me it's just another boat. I mean I can sleep anywhere. And then anything that is floating on top of the ocean
Yeah,
and sails, it's a boat for me.
dia tak sleep picker, sleep picker tu. Dia
No,
tak
I'm
mudah
a
untuk tidur.
yeah.
Dia campak mana-mana. I kid you not, whenever we do field sampling, you just give him the most at most a sleeping bag, and he can sleep everywhere. I kid you not. That's bull lah. Kira jap back to the boat before we jump into the topic. Boat, I interested to know. Have you ever been in the boat, sleeping boat tu, sleeper boat tu?
If you're talking about sleeper boat tu saya pernah. Kalau if you're talking about from Okinawa to Kyushu, no, I haven't. But I have been to within the Okinawa prefecture, like for example, that from Okinawa, dari Okinawa ke let's say the Keramas or Akajima, dia adalah is west from the main island of Okinawa. It took about 2 hours, less than that. But it's not really a sleeper. You sleep over, but dia ada satu ruang untuk you tidur, and dia akan bagi you mungkin tatami bed atau a luxurious one, dia akan bagi you satu futon. But when you go there for only 2 hours, you won't need that futon.
Yeah. Buat apa nak tidur? I wonder lah, if you ever been in the sleeper boat as a sleep, macam sleep train and sleeper train kan. Would lah, that could be interesting lah. Macam daripada Okinawa ke apa? Ke mana? Kyushu. It would be interesting if you had the experience lah. Okay,
but if you're talking about dari Okinawa ke Kyushu, tak pernah. But if you're talking about dari Jeddah ke Yaman, pernah. And then
Jeddah ke Yaman? For what?
Yes, yeah. Oh, saya 2017 tu kita ada satu massive coral bleaching pelunturan terumbu karang di seluruh dunia. So in 2017 I was invited by the King Abdullah University of Science and Technology, the KAUST, untuk pergi sana untuk tengok macam mana terumbu karang sana, how the performance or the adaptation of the coral reef during the coral bleaching. So our job was to look into all the coral reefs from the middle part of Saudi Arabia, which is Jeddah, sampailah ke we call it the Farasan. So kita tak masuk sampai Yemen sebab masa tu Yemen bergolak kan. It was in unstable condition. So we went until the Farasan banks, a few tens of kilometers north of Yemen, but still within Saudi Arabia's jurisdiction.
How long you need to sample lah kan, buat PIT atau LIT, buat survey. In the layman term, you need to do survey, no?
Masa tu kalau saya when it comes to Saudi Arabia punya trip tu kan, I was there for 2 weeks, 1.5 week punya live aboard lah maksudnya. We live in a boat, we eat, we shit, we dive, we bath on the boat. So for that kami telah pergi dari Jeddah sampai ke Farasan tu, we stop berapa tempat lah untuk ambil sampel. Saya punya part bukan untuk buat survey secara tengok berapa peratus coral yang hidup, berapa peratus haiwan yang ada. Kerja saya masa tu, my work was to ambil sampel, bawa masuk balik ke lab untuk tengok apakah perbezaan di antara coral yang di tempat selatan dan tempat pertengahan Saudi Arabia tu.
Sebab nak compare lah.
Ya, nak compare sebab masa tu dia punya coral bleaching punya efek tu tak sama di tempat yang berbeza. Dan lagi satu adalah dia punya suhu. Even though Saudi Arabia tu dia punya the Red Sea itself lah is a very hot ocean or very hot sea itself. Tapi dia punya temperature tu tak sama di tempat-tempat yang berbeza dalam Red Sea tersebut. So kita nak tengok di temperature yang berbeza macam mana terumbu karang tu boleh hidup secara genetiknya, bukan secara fizikal atau kita panggil phylogeny.
Okay. That's interesting. All this information, as someone yang practice and do this sciencey, this is not rocket science. This is coral science. Sciencey stuff. such a waste lah kalau all this information are not putting into on the internet. Talking about that, we are there's a few times yang kita nampak dekat internet, regardless lah platform, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube even kan. Yes, there is an effort untuk put all those information to the public, but how do you find it membantu ke ataupun macam it's not good enough, all those science stuff are not deepen enough? What is your opinion?
So dari segi ini nak tengok macam mana how the information of science being transferred from the knowledge holder towards the public tu. Dia ada dua cara kita boleh tengok, dua scope lah. Number one, the scope from outside of Malaysia. So negara-negara macam Australia, America, Europe, dia memang ada satu kumpulan of people, a group of people who actually make science approachable for the general public, right? There are a few examples like Veritasium, SciShow. Ini adalah semua video-video yang dibuat oleh orang yang ada ilmu, people with qualified knowledge to provide that knowledge to everyone, and they have done it very well. And dia bukan sahaja restricted to satu topik, mereka buka topik yang besar dari sains hayat, life science sampai ke engineering. So coming back to Malaysia or close to home kan, kita memang ada banyak YouTuber yang memberikan maklumat or the knowledge of a more advanced knowledge to people. Like for example, very good example is there's a professor dari UITM, I can't remember his name. He's more on kereta punya, engine kereta. Alright, he's what's his name again? But if you go online YouTube, you check him, he's there. Dia memang ada, and now dia ada khusus untuk mengajar orang how do you understand about mechanical wise of a car and how a car is moved. So that's a good effort. However, kita memang jarang ada satu badan atau satu kumpulan pemikir atau academicians yang boleh buat satu topik atau satu platform di mana semua orang, semua lapisan masyarakat, where we don't care about whether you are advanced level or you're just a beginner, just want to know something about a certain topic, you can go to that platform, which unfortunately Malaysia masih tak ada satu platform yang begitu mantap lagi lah. So that's why I approached you the other day to have a discussion. Like, you know, why not we have a platform atau we try to open up to see who can help us or to build, or we can collaborate in building something, to start off something to talk about science. But why do I have this kind of thinking? Why do I start this kind of discussion? Is because of, you know, recently baru-baru ni kita ada dapat news daripada Kementerian Pendidikan dan Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi, di mana semua banyak anak muda-mudi sekarang tak ada minat untuk sambung belajar jadi saintis atau doktor, sebab mereka cakap kenapa belajar susah payah, susah-susah, at the end of the day tak dapat satu gaji atau kewangan, status kewangan yang tetap, tetap, right. So mereka tengok di mata mereka, kebanyakannya orang yang ada status atau we call it as famous online atau yang ada footprint di online adalah orang-orang yang di TikTok atau di media sosial, yang for me personally, this is my personal opinion, that they do add entertainment value but no knowledge added value.
Oh, see.
Yeah.
So dorang memang ada value in entertaining punya content orang entertaining, but there's nothing to gain out of dorang punya content. Other
I
than
wouldn't
happy
say
haha smile.
I wouldn't say nothing gain, but at least entertainment wise. But if kalau anda tengok dari segi maklumat or knowledge, when it comes to, especially comes to STEM, right? We do really need more of these people to improve the knowledge of our younger generation, or at least the interest of our younger generation on STEM, rather than I'm sorry to put this, but like, you know, dancing in front of a camera. Right?
What if okay, that's an argument. What if I dance and I put text on the video while I'm dancing? So that's a knowledge. But also I'm dancing. How about that?
But well, dari segi itu, it is very much context. Kita kena tengok konteks. Kalau you buat dancing, and then you dancing di mana? Kalau you buat dancing in a garage, while you pointing to an engine and explain an engine. What is a 1.3 engine? What is a 1.5 engine? 1.3 and 1.5 represent the liter atau the volume of the engine. Then that might show a context, right? Kalau you start menari di tengah-tengah padang, tapi you explain about apa itu 1.3 and 1.4 engine punya liter size punya engine, dia konteks dia tak sama, right? So you have to look at the context and how do you what I call as how do you present your information towards your audience.
Okay, that's an argument lah. I think not me thinking of this argument alone. How about this? Okay, I know your attention. I know what you want to do is that you want to put all those knowledge to the public kan, so public dapat gain kan. But at the same time, you want to put the knowledge how deep you want to put the knowledge. Like on the surface ke, ataupun macam you need to know this deeper to the level. What kind of level until you public rasa this is enough for you to know. The rest you want to know as either you go to university further study, or you go read by yourself. How deepen? Just on the surface. Okay, coral is not a plant. Enough for that. The coral is an same family or same type. It's easier to say like that with jellyfish. Same as that, simple as that, and then they go look out by themselves, or need to go deeper. Nidaria, all those the class. How deepen you want to put on the public?
So it all depends on the context, kan? So again, coming back to the context punya conundrum lah, we call it. So for a startup, kalau kita nak mulakan, we want to start something video, we can start a very simple stuff. Like for example that you've given. So the first video, a short video, we can talk about. Do you know that coral reefs are corals are actually animals, right? They are not plant, but to a certain degree, they host plant cells in their body. Like I mentioned just now, they are not plants, but they are animals. So what is the closest animal that they are with, right? So we can talk about like maybe they are jellyfish, right? So what are they different from jellyfish is because they have skeleton. That's why they turn white when they are not healthy. So from that kind of video, short video, we posted it out. And then when those who are interested, yang ada berminat, they will start commenting in the comment section. And from there, as an educator, it's our right and responsibility to look into what are the interests of the public based on their comment. So dari sana kita boleh make a following video, or maybe make a respond to the comments, so that kita boleh memajukan or improve the knowledge, not just to the public, but as an educator, so we will improve ourselves, because they ask a question sometimes that we need to go for further examinations of the knowledge or the information before we can make a video, so that the information is G2 or accurate. So we can make a stepwise punya knowledge presentation.
Okay, to put simply lah, how about like this? Kita berbual level. Okay, you want to put a knowledge on a video up to level mana to the public, for your opinion? First degree ialah level sekolah UPSR. Okay, second degree ialah sampai level sekolah menengah punya boleh digest. Third degree ialah those yang at least 20s boleh digest. And then above 30s punya level, macam you need to have a degree to digest all the information given through the video punya platform tadi. Which level yang patut media conquer ataupun attack? Nak sampai ke level master ke, ataupun level sekolah rendah ke, ataupun level sekolah menengah punya pemahaman ataupun comprehension, sampai level situ je?
So itu also depending on the information yang you nak sediakan. Like for example, another example is about climate change, right? So a climate change explanation to someone who is 12 years and below, and also for someone who is 18 and below and 18 and above, the context and the worldview tak sama, right? Dia punya cara pemikiran dengan macam mana dia tengok dunia itu berbeza. So kita kena ada satu platform di mana ada pemikir-pemikir memberikan satu konteks yang mudah difahami oleh orang yang muda, dan lagi satu adalah slightly advanced kepada orang yang matang sedikit. So kalau you pergi ke YouTube, you try to look for, there are some videos that talk about explaining a theory for first grader, sixth grader, 12th grader and an adult. So dia punya cara adalah begini. Dia ada seorang ahli academician atau seorang expert dari that kind of field. They try to reduce their understanding of a certain field to certain grades. First grader adalah orang umur 6 hingga 7 tahun. Sixth grader 12, 12 graders 18, and adults. So kita boleh buat banyak video on one topic, but untuk kategori atau generasi-generasi yang berbeza umur atau age class.
I watch those kind of content on internet. Yeah, I watch it. But there's a problem tentang content tu. Those yang apa yang dia kan ada seorang expert, and then dia duduk dengan someone yang according to the grade tu kan. Ada problem tentang content tu, in which those yang dia try to explain dekat budak ataupun the other person, the second party, the grader tu kan, does those yang dia nak try explain tu represent public masses ke tak? Probably kalau dia ambil budak paling pandai sekali dalam kelas dia, it defeat the purpose. Yelah, dia ambil budak yang advance, dah thinking too far ahead, budak sekolah rendah tapi dah membaca macam level sekolah menengah, it defeat the purpose definitely. That's my concern lah kalau kita nak try to attack different level. But yeah, I think it would be nice kalau try to explain on those kind of level. And then in my opinion also, definitely tak boleh nak masukkan ataupun tak boleh nak kita includekan a lump sekali content untuk yang level sekolah rendah dengan level sekolah menengah, sebab nanti yang those yang sekolah rendah punya audience rasa macam this is too advanced, this is too heavy for me, and then I don't like it. So dia defeat the purpose untuk kita berbalik pada main purpose tadi, untuk make those kids or youngster like STEM balik lah. In my opinion, dia kena different and domain yang berbeza.
Yes, anda punya cara, the concept tu memang betul. Sebab we shouldn't like, for example, yang tadi example yang saya bagi tu untuk explain first grade, sixth grade, 12th grade and adult kan. That video tu kalau you buat dalam satu video, memang dia akan menjadi satu issue whereby peringkat pemikiran atau pemahaman, the standard of understanding, the level of understanding at different levels will not appreciate the whole video, right? So it's better to spread them, the same concept but different videos with different presentation type. Like for example, budak 6 tahun atau 12 tahun mereka a little bit cartoonish punya presentation with lower level punya explanation. And then when it comes to teenage, right, 13 to 18 ni, we have to compress it to a short form. Like say 30 second, 20 second TikTok, because this based on a real research, right, that memang at this age, some of the orang muda-mudi ni dia ada, we'll call it ada short attention span, because they are very highly energetic. So we have to get their attention in that span, 20 saat, 30 saat. Or maybe 10 saat for the first 10 second untuk dapat their attention, and then the other 10-20 second untuk dapatkan maklumat kepada mereka. So that is the other type of content for the teenage. And then when it comes to the more matured one, kita boleh extend the explanation of certain concept, atau bagi mereka satu media atau link atau direction kepada mereka jika mereka nak tahu lebih banyak. So we can create multiple groups of content creator talking about the same issue but at different levels, or different, we call it information presentation modules, which means macam mana mereka mendapatkan maklumat tu kepada pendengar.
Okay. I have another question that I think about, and then I believe this is one of the problem also, is that since yang pandai those are the knowledge holder are not how to put it in word, are not appeal enough to the youngster comparing to those yang memang dah buat dance video lah, dance video, who are appeal enough to them to consume all those their content regardless of the gaming, dancing or whatever, are more audience yang diorang dapat berbanding kita nak sembang pasal science, less audience. There's once a guy said to me kan, dia kata macam ni, kenapa kita, I had the answer already but I wanna hear your answer lah. Kenapa kita tak suruh, ataupun kita dah tahu ada knowledge semua tu, dan orang tak nak tengok kita ni orang tak nak tengok muka-muka yang tak handsome ni cakap pasal science. So bagilah muka-muka yang cantik kan, those yang ada appeal enough kan, good looking, appeal enough, and are more welcoming untuk cakap science. Diorang punya audience definitely akan dengar sebab wow, dah lah cantik, lepas tu pandai science pula tu. Siapa siap Haikal, dah lah tak handsome, lepas tu cakap science. Yalah. Tapi definitely kita are more credible to talk those kind of knowledge. The main purpose kenapa orang ni argue ataupun giving out these points ialah dia kata back to the main objective tadi. Kita nak ada youngster like or suka science. Diorang nak develop interest towards STEM. Jadi kalau diorang memang interest to those influencers yang memang ada good looking semua, tak perlu pun ada handsome, just you need instill je the net science knowledge pada orang yang dah ada follower. What's your answer? What's your opinion? What's your argument?
So dari segi tu, yes, if you are talking about appeal, physical appeal, that means secara fizikal, seorang tu perlu ada satu appeal, ada satu karisma, right? So you ada karisma tu, that means you boleh bawa lah your knowledge kepada orang tersebut, right? It's actually very hard to get someone who is charismatic, especially when it comes to in academic, because we as orang yang ada knowledge, right? Have you heard about the concept Dunning-Kruger effect?
Macam pernah dengar, tapi explain lah.
Okay, so the Dunning-Kruger effect is actually adalah satu effect di mana dia ada satu lembah, di mana diagraph lembah. The more you know something, the more you feel like you don't know something.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
so as a scientist atau orang pemikir, we often have a conserved thinking atau satu pemikiran yang lebih tak begitu we don't really want to show off in a sense we know something very well, because kita pemikir ni sometimes we ada satu conserved thinking in a sense, what if we are wrong, kalau saya salah, kalau saya salah bagi informasi, tanggungjawab itu atas saya, sebab informasi itu adalah satu tanggungjawab.
Itu macam itu macam imposter syndrome.
Maklumat tu, ilmu tu disalah diberi, tanggungjawab itu di atas saya. So karisma tu dia akan memberi efek kepada karisma orang tersebut. Tapi kalau you cakap tentang orang yang kena ada satu so then you cakap kenapa tak nak bagi orang yang lebih good looking, right? But I don't think good looking gives a more added value to a certain degree saja. Dia bagi added value, satu nilai tambah kepada video tersebut sampai satu degree saja. Once you know orang itu dia punya tahap pemahaman atau tahap pemikiran sampai tahap itu, dan nak melebihi tahap tersebut memang susah. Sebab cara penyampaian ilmu tersebut, kalau you tak faham, susah nak sampaikan ilmu tu. Right? So kita kena ada satu ahli pemikir yang charismatic. They are confident with their knowledge. They are very good at communicating with their knowledge, and they can talk to the audience, then the audience can hear them. So kat Malaysia ni ada beberapa orang ahli pemikir yang very good in communication. They are very good in doing this video, but they are not as prominent as our like TikTok famous atau influencer kat Malaysia. But
that's reality.
What I'm saying is that
that's reality.
But di luar negara ya, there are some scientists atau ahli pemikir yang famous, right? Thijs de Grace Nelson, right? Bill Nye, the science guy, right? Carl Sagan, Richard Feynman. So mereka ni adalah orang-orang dulu macam science guy, Bill Nye the science guy, yang Richard Feynman, Carl Sagan. Mereka agak you can consider as orang di mana their age is around, let's say 1970 to 1990s punya orang. 1990s punya orang. So masa tu they are very charismatic. Mereka boleh bagi satu ilmu kepada semua pendengar. Even though I wouldn't say they are not, asal tak cakap mereka hodoh, tapi mereka bukannya kacak sangat. Tapi orang ada orang rela dengar mereka punya pertuturan, macam mana mereka berikan ilmu tu kepada pendengar, right? So what we need is someone yang charismatic, yang boleh bagi satu scientific explanation to anyone, apa lapisan masyarakat juga. So that one also require a charisma, and they require knowledge, and they require the confidence of knowing that you are doing the right thing, and then you are giving them the right knowledge, and people benefit daripada the knowledge that you provide. So we do need this kind of people in Malaysia right now, with dengan lihatnya the trend of how our youngsters, our budak muda-mudi ini, macam mana mereka, I wouldn't say reject, but lost interest in STEM to science, technology, engineering, and mathematics punya subject. So why is it so important in talking about STEM nowadays? Because Malaysia, kita ni ada wawasan sekarang kan, kita ada target untuk capai 2020 sudah berlalu. Then next one is 2025, and then there was at one time 2030. In order to capai that wawasan, kita perlu ada ramai pemikir atau ramai orang yang ada technological knowledge, right? Technological knowledge, that means dia kena ada STEM punya knowledge, right? In Malaysia currently, even though we do have, but mereka tidak dapat macam ganjaran yang setimpal. They don't get the right what you call that word, the
reward,
reward on what they are doing right now. So compensation, right? So untuk mendapatkan that kind of reward and compensation, we need to appreciate knowledge. We need to appreciate STEM. From that, we will have a better society that rather bukan nak jadi entertainer saja, tapi nak jadi someone who can improve everyone punya livelihood. So it's unfortunate sebab if kita dalam these 5 years if we don't really solve this issue by increasing the interest of our youngsters with STEM, we might have a lot of knowledge issue gaps, and also the continuity of our development, our national development, our macam mana negara kita memaju di masa depan akan bermasalah sebab dia ada gap tu. Since even sebelum COVID, dia ada satu tangkapan dari muda-mudi, generasi muda-mudi ni tentang losing interest of science but increasing interest of it masuk entertainment punya field. Entertainment field, yes, they do really add a good added value to our society, especially in our mental health, because it entertains us. But again, that do not improve our standard of living. Our standard of living requires science. They require improve of our technology through science, rather than guna mulut cakap saja. But we have to improve that. So by improving that way of thinking, right, of everyone appreciating knowledge rather than appreciating entertainment, kita baru boleh maju, kita baru boleh dapat satu taraf kehidupan yang setaraf dengan negara-negara yang maju.
Okay, I would like to emphasize on the compensation and rewards punya idea tadi, part. Realistically speaking, Abu, investor wouldn't invest a science related or science background guy to do marketing. Hence, those money, kalau orang nak money tu, macam mana duit tu tak banyak salurkan kepada someone yang charismatic enough untuk market their product. That's one thing. Yalah, back to the problem tadi lah. You need a good looking compared to knowledgeable. So duit tu ada, tapi duit tu dia salur kepada yang good looking, so they have their product. For me, ada je kalau ni investor nak invest the same product, tapi the way that they want to market their product dengan good looking tu macam terlalu superficial kan. Someone yang ada yalah, kita bagi good looking compared to dengan science, ialah you do some research and then the science guy present back to the public lah, for that to become their product more marketable. Then this is not uncommon, dah sangat common lah. Kalau a research show that our product lah dari kan banyak kan. Cuma yalah, rather than put those kind of money toward science guy, dia put macam gunalah produk kami sebab dia menghapuskan ni. Tengok saya pakai, saya cantik. You can see lebih banyak yang lebih banyak yang macam tu rather than research back balik. Tapi dia ada konflik lah, macam this research are biased toward your product. Tapi at least sekurang-kurangnya you have the reward balik, you have the compensation, you do the research. Second, kalau lah you said that charisma is a thing to make it the science are more appeal to the public. Contoh macam Richard Feynman and all those science guys kan, they need to do a long enough to make it public well accepted for them, and then make it science more acceptable to public. Dia kena buat begitu lama tau. One of the reason why I believe that, and then untuk buat lama macam tu, you need to sustain yourself. You need, nak makan perlu duit. yelah, tak tahulah berapa lama Richard Feynman buat untuk mungkin 20 tahun, 30 tahun until dia become the Richard Feynman yang National Geographic panggil. 20 tahunkah dia perlu sustain? One of the reason why why I stop do ataupun ialah not saying I'm stop lah. I lesson aku buat ialah I find it I have a conflict between how myself to sustain myself. I like to deliver all this information. Yes, you know me myself. I can do at my best buat semua video science. Tapi yalah, I also need food, mouth to fed, macam nak bagi makan. Tak ada orang nak bayar. Ataupun I kena buat untuk 20 tahun lagi sampailah science equal to the money. It's so hard. Yelah, semua orang nak buat ke arah science until science can make money of it. Also in the objective dia ialah untuk make it the science to become the public. Dia kena buat long enough. Mungkin tak sampai the long enough tu dia dah kita buat benda lain lah pula dalam hidup. Dia try to run the race, and then ada opportunity lain lah. I have ada commitments to fill in. Yeah, that's the reality. And in Malaysia, I look back lah kan, semua yang buat science content, dia punya expiry and lifespan dia, realistically speaking up to 5 years. Masuk tahun ke-6 is either there's a new guy yang boleh cakap science lebih bagus, which is bagus lah, ataupun masuk tahun yang ke-5 ke hujung tu dia dah lost interest sebabkan dia tak dapat compensation good enough what dia dah buat untuk 5 tahun. Being paid sama je setiap 5 tahun. Logically you are experienced enough, you are get paid more lah kan. Yeah, that's the thing. Tentang why in Malaysia lack of all these thing. Unless lah you do for a living untuk buat benda ni, then we more than happy lah. That's why lah currently, kalau if you follow me, I do other stuff. I do podcast now with my 3 of my friends. Once in a while there's an episode where the whole episode tentang science, tapi I try to dilute the information lah. One of the episode yang I remember dan I find it fun to do ialah dalam podcast tu ialah kita orang sembang pasal kenapa orang macam kenapa 100 plus ialah minuman sukan. So I try to relate with coconut, isotonic, dalam coconut isotonic dah. Yeah, that's the thing. Itu pun kalau I buat 20 tahun setiap hari, probably mungkin jadi Richard Feynman kot. Itu memang ada konflik itu Tak tahulah kenapa, memang susah juga. Okay. You wanna add or I put another question? You wanna add on?
Saya boleh refute atau bagi you why you punya thinking like that, and maybe boleh tukar your cara pemikiran. So dari segi you look into that whereby if you are not good looking, how are you going to sell or market product, right? Like for example, billboard di tepi jalan, itu semua. Well, that is not the actual target untuk dapatkan what you call that, advertisement atau marketing punya money, right? Like you see nowadays banyak celebrity buat benda tu, banyak orang influencer dapat benda item-item sebab mereka dapat sponsor daripada all these item. As a science person or academician, we also have to be reserved on what product that we can kita boleh buat advertisement, sebab benda tu kalau bermasalah produk tu, there goes the credibility of a knowledgeable person. That is why at the end of the day, anda tak lihat banyak orang yang in this spectrum yang buat knowledge transfer punya orang, mereka tak support a lot of product atau produk yang mereka tak fahami. But when it comes to your question about kalau even orang yang buat sains ni dalam masa 5 tahun, they'll just call it a quit. Yes, it's normal. Recently, this year in January, banyak TikTok yang atau influencer di luar negara yang buat knowledge transfer punya, yang mengajar orang di YouTube, telah decided to retire. Atau sebab mereka panggil as a knowledge burnout. That means they burn out because they give too much. They keep on giving knowledge to people, doing the same thing, and then they start to burn out. Yes, it's very normal. But once they also promise that mereka they will come back. So they just take a short rest, right? A short 1 or 2 years rest. Sometimes they just take longer. And then when it comes to 5-6 years, they'll give up. It's more like I would say a career burnout. Same thing goes to all the influencer, all the celebrity. You tengok dia hari ni dia famous, but down the road 5 years, will their face be on the billboard again? Most of them will try to squeeze out the advertisement punya revenue as soon as they're at the top of the influencing the food chain, the influencer food chain. They'll squeeze all, and you can see their names and their faces everywhere, and then after 5 years you might not see them anymore. Same, the cycle is the same. It's not just for the science punya cycle, is also the same for influencer or celebrity. And then when you talk about Richard Feynman, took 20 years, but I would say, and Carl Sagan took so long to be famous, right? They are not actually, mereka tak ambil begitu lama punya masa. They take a long time to understand the knowledge. But why they are so famous back in the 60s and 70s is because of one thing. The government, kerajaan masa itu di US, dia ada satu program, space program, where they are having competition between USSR at that time. So they are trying to get everyone's attention and everyone's interest in STEM, especially space program, and that is why they put all these people in front of the masses to provide them the knowledge, the interest of STEM, right? So kita juga not just nak tengok apa yang kita boleh buat. Kita juga as a academician atau pemikir, we also have to synchronize with our current day government atau kerajaan masa kini untuk dapatkan mereka punya support, sokongan mereka untuk make sure that we as an academician, ahli pemikir, untuk bagi the public the medium atau the peluang, opportunity to provide the knowledge to the public without any hesitation, and so that the public can get a knowledge based, I would say, video or entertainment. We just don't want them to have only entertainment. We also need to add value with knowledge, and that's how we can get them in other interest towards science and also STEM. Whereby you are talking about why kita perlu ada satu the burnout rate of once you buat terlalu banyak, and then you start to feel, you start to feel you're not achieving anything, right? But actually you already achieved something, which means you already archive your knowledge online, and then if you can spread your knowledge bagi kepada orang yang lagi banyak, every day 10 orang atau 100 orang, doesn't matter, as long as you dapat that message pergi ke sana consistently, nescaya, I believe that the repertoire will build up itself. And if we want, we can also try to convince the general public or people of interest tentang the importance of STEM. Macam mana kita boleh bawa this STEM entertainment towards the masses, kepada orang semua masyarakat. Dengan itu kita boleh increase their interest from there. We do really need a support, and a much bigger institutional support.
See, yeah. Okay. I have one last question before I give my last question. Anything else you want to add on regarding this topic?
Soalannya?
Really? Okay, soalannya so ingatkan you nak add on anything.
Tak ada.
Macam mana dengan argument macam ni? Rather than we put the blame on the public masses kata korang tak nak dengar, tak nak tengok. Kita orang dah buat banyak video, kita orang buat video tak nak, tapi korang tak nak tengok. The public masses, we put the blame. Would would the knowledge holder take the responsibility untuk take the blame also? There's a saying kata knowledge ni hanya circulate within and inter university saja. So knowledge tu ada, research tu ada, tapi dalam universiti je. Unless research tu giving out a better human, ataupun tak bagi macam mana kata tak something yang rasa beneficial in term of economically. So ada je research yang tak ni tak ada ekonomi sangat, dia punya benefit. Mungkin ada tapi kecil, rather than a big scale economy yield untuk satu research tu. Yang ni yang patut kita bagi tahu kat public masses supaya banyak investor masuk. Then the question would be, tak ke university saja to hold the knowledge and then ambil responsible untuk kita pun salah kat kita pun tak nak share this knowledge to the public. Kita nak share pada investor saja. How about that?
Well, soalan you actually ada dua section lah. The first section is we shouldn't, yes, kita jangan blame the public for lack of interest, and also at the same time we shouldn't also blame researcher for lack of knowledge transfer punya initiative, because yes, knowledge transfer is also our responsibility as an academician, right? Untuk memberikan maklumat, ilmu, pengetahuan kepada orang. Tapi semua pensyarah, lecturer, guru semua adalah manusia. Kapasiti untuk membawa mereka punya kerja atau ilmu kepada the targeted audience has already achieved through our work. Like for example, I have to transfer my knowledge to my postgraduate student, to my undergraduate student. Cikgu adalah untuk pelajar-pelajar sekolah dia. Tapi kita juga perlu saya untuk sarankan untuk bagi satu peluang media untuk orang yang berilmu, untuk memberikan ilmu kepada semua kumpulan masyarakat dari segi media, menggunakan media sosial. So kenapa? Sebab you have to understand, it takes a long time to build up that repertoire atau that interest of science about a certain topic, not just science, a certain topic. Any influencer, dia kena buat the hustle for 5-10 years in order to be the top of the pinnacle, kan, untuk di atas. Tapi for science, kita kena tengok lagi strategi. Kita kena tengok semula strategi macam mana nak memudahkan, mempercepatkan proses ini adalah dengan pertolongan institusi yang lebih besar, dan dengan kerjasama semua lapisan pihak untuk dapatkan the entertainment added value with education. We call it the edutainment. Education, entertainment, edutainment. So dengan itu kita boleh sediakan satu platform edutainment untuk all the lapisan masyarakat, because I see now there are more and more edutainment dari segi financial, right? Mengajar orang
betul.
macam mana nak menjaga kewangan
saving,
mereka, tapi tak ada orang
investment.
I wouldn't want to name them because I don't want to name drop, sebab tak nak
call out
ada
name
masalah tentang tapi I don't say them, saya tak cakap mereka tak baik, but I'm cakap that they are doing the right thing, because semua orang tengah dengar mereka dijemput untuk bagi ceramah semua benda. But why not we start something with a stamp punya, and then dapatkan everyone punya interest, and then diberikan peluang untuk bagi ceramah kepada semua lapisan masyarakat. And when it comes to your second question, dari segi kenapa knowledge tu hanya kepada targeted sahaja, right? Like I said just now, it is our job to provide a targeted knowledge transfer dari cikgu ke pelajar, dari pencara ke penganut universiti. Sebab the university students. So the penuntut university. So the thing is that the whole idea is that we already achieve our target, but my concern is that we only limit to that one track road, right? One track road sahaja. We don't provide any edutainment into the knowledge to the masses punya line. Kenapa? Sebab not just tak ada tak ada sokongan. I won't say tak ada sokongan, because sokongan tu kita kena cari ourselves. We have to find it ourselves. But what I will say is that we don't have any immediate ganjaran daripada sana, right? It takes a lot of time for an influencer to buat video untuk dia jadi famous, jadi influencer status untuk dapatkan dia punya ganjaran. But for thinkers, those with knowledge, we have other responsibility to fulfill. So we want to make sure that ganjaran can achieve that. We really need another sokongan to help us to achieve that knowledge to the masses. We need something to support it, right? So like for example, currently saya ada perbincangan dengan anda di sini. So saya juga ada buat beberapa video dengan media-media lain, and then like for example Media Prima, and saya pun ada saya punya website sendiri di UNESCO. If you go UNESCO, you type my name, you'll find my resume and then all the materials tentang my education punya di atas sana. And selain daripada itu, you boleh tengok kepada serve to My Iklim, MYIKLIM, adalah satu laman sesawang yang dibina jointly built by me and my colleague untuk provide an added value and interactive website to the masses about climate change. So we are trying our best to provide that knowledge to the general public and the masses. Sebab if we don't do it now, right, who's going to do it, right? We start one step at a time, slow at a time, and then try to provide satu market, not to say a marketing, but a promoting and publicity effort on knowledge, not ourselves, but to the knowledge that we are going to provide to the masses.
Okay. It's been nearly 1 hour of our discussion. For me, I find it I would say macam mana, it would be insightful probably kalau for those yang wanted to know what's the problem, why this problem happened that we are discussed here. Yeah, I look forward for another discussion of us. Any last word, Bu, before we end our podcast?
So actually, knowledge shouldn't be just a one straight line. It should be multiple cabang and very much entertaining punya way of transferring. So by the end of the day, I hope that we can start a conversation untuk how to make knowledge more entertaining, not necessarily down to the teeth of information correctness. What I'm saying that not to say nak bagi informasi yang tak betul, tapi at least we have some wiggle room to provide a knowledge to someone which is entertaining. Jangan terlalu rigid lah, sebab rigid tu boring kan.
Betul. Thank you, Bu. We will look up another series yang in coming future. But for those yang nak cari Bu, how they want to contact you? Oh, I would like to talk science with you, Bu. How?
You can actually either check my Facebook punya page, WEE space HIN space BOO. My Facebook punya handle tu biasanya is all me doing some jokes and cracking some dad jokes lah on Facebook. Then kalau kedua adalah you boleh pergi ke My Iklim and then untuk tengok all the information yang saya sudah bagikan secara public. And then if you need anything, you can contact through My Iklim. And finally, when will this video come out?
Probably weekend kot. Probably the fastest will
bila
be
video
weekend.
ini akan keluar ya?
Sabtu atau Ahad. Sabtu atau Ahad.
Sorry?
Ada di
sebab saya on the 6th of May,
Sabtu atau Ahad.
majalah 3 ada saya punya video. Mereka ada buat interview kat saya on the 6th of May kat majalah 3. So if anyone ada nampak video ni sebelum 6th of May, please tengoklah saya punya video kat majalah 3.
Okay. Thank you again Bu. Until next time, for those yang kita akan buat series another few topics in the future. For those yang nak check out this episode and this before this punya episode, ada dekat link dekat bawah. And then for those yang nak check out Bu pun, I will leave out all the description link dekat description below. And with that, see you guys on the next episode. Bye.